7:13 a.m. Two police cruisers in my driveway, lights flashing, the lead cop's hand hovering near his belt like I'm some kind of threat. I'm holding a coffee mug with the Army Corps of Engineers logo, standing on the property I bought 6 months ago, paid in full, deed in hand, and HOA President Deidre Kensington is 40T back, arms crossed, smirking behind her designer sunglasses like she just won the lottery. For hours earlier, she'd called 911, told them there was a dangerous, possibly armed squatter refusing to leave. Classic swatting move, except I'm a 54-year-old veteran who just wanted to build a workshop in peace. The morning air smelled like fresh cut grass and Deidre's desperation. What she didn't know, I had. The one piece of paper that was about to flip her entire world upside down. What would you do if someone tried to get you arrested on your own land? Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? Let's see how many HOA nightmares are out there. My name's Garrett Hollins, 54, divorced, 2 kids in college and med school, 20 years in the Army Corps of Engineers before I started a civil engineering consultancy here in Tulsa. I'm not the kind of guy who goes looking for trouble. I've had my fill of that overseas. 6 months ago, I bought 3.2 acres on the edge of Pinewood Estate subdivision. The plan was simple. Build a workshop, convert the detached garage into a machine shop, have a place where my kids could visit without tripping over their mom's new boyfriend. The property is gorgeous. A 150-year-old oak tree dominates the front yard. Its branches cake like an old sailing ship when the wind picks up. Inside my half-finished workshop, the air smells like sawdust and motor oil, and every surface has a fine coating of metal shavings that glints in the afternoon. Son, here's the thing. When I bought this land, it was outside the Pinewood Estate's HOA boundaries. I've got a 2018 survey proving it. The property line ends 200 feet east of my driveway. I made damn sure before signing anything, because I've heard the horror stories. HOAs finding people for garden gnomes, liens for the wrong mailbox color. Pinewood Estates is your standard upper-middle-class suburb. 127 homes built. 2015 to 2019. HOA dues at $3.85 a month. But 6 months ago, right when I closed, the HOA quietly filed paperwork with the county to correct boundaries, pulling my land into their jurisdiction without notice. No certified letter, no hearing, just bureaucratic theft. That's when I met Deidre Kensington, 49, real estate agent, HOA president for 18 months. Picture someone who wears pastel blazers like battle armor and says community standards the way cult leaders say. Divine will. Her voice has the pitch and warmth of a table saw cutting sheet metal. She drives a white Lexus RX. Vanity plate HOAQN because apparently irony is dead. Stories about Deirdre circulate like legend. Liens on homes. For unauthorized garden gnomes. Fines for kids' chalk art. Foreclosures over late fees. I also noticed she's cold too. The 3 black families in the neighborhood, dismissive of Ruben Cortez, my neighbor, retired Latino machinist, and generally treats anyone without a white-collar job like they're trespassing on her country club. Week 1 after I moved in, I get a certified letter. The envelope has that waxy official texture. The paper inside smells faintly of cheap toner and entitlement. $2,500 fine for an unapproved structure. My garage, which existed before their HOA, claimed my land. I respond via email with my survey deed and a legal opinion from my paralegal buddy. I'm not in your HOA. Week 3. Deidre appears in person. Clipboard designer sunglasses photographing my property like she's Sherlock Holmes solving a murder. Threatens a lien. Says I'm setting a bad precedent. I tell her to leave. Week 5. New letter. $5,000 plus $150 in daily penalties. Mentions legal action and foreclosure proceedings. I dealt with insurgents in Fallujah who negotiated in better faith. My neighbor, Ruben, brought over beer that night. 60-some thinks the HOA is clowns with clipboards. He said, they're bleeding. You dry, brother. That's the game. Make fighting so expensive you quit. I called Lucia Brennan, local attorney. Sharp early 40s. I'd helped her mother with a drainage issue for free. She owed me boundary annexation without notice. Lucia said, that's not just wrong, Garrett. That's fraud. Then there's Travis and Mallory Kent. Young couple already fighting $8 grand in fines. for installing a swing set. I realized Deidre isn't just targeting me. She's running a scam on 127 families. So I ignored her letters. I was legally right. That's when she went nuclear. She filed a police report, claimed I was trespassing on HOA common area, my own driveway, and that I'd verbally threatened her. Total lie. Which is how I ended up with 2 cops in my driveway at 7:13 a.m. while Deidre stood back, smirking, waiting for me to get arrested. In that moment, I understood this wasn't about fines. Deidre was setting me up for something worse. So, there I am, 7:13 a.m., 2 cops walking up my driveway. The lead officer is Sergeant Pacheco, mid-40s, built solid, hand hovering near his belt. His partner's younger, nervous, scanning my property like I'm running a cartel. I stay calm, hands visible, coffee mug in one hand. 20 years in the Army teaches you how to de-escalate before things get stupid. Morning, officers, I say. I'm guessing Deidre Kensington called this in. Pacheco nods, pulls out a notepad. We got a report of trespassing on HOA common property. Also a claim you verbally threatened the HOA president. Your side? I set my coffee down. Happy. Too. But first, can I show you some paperwork? I go inside slowly, announcing every move, and grab my folder, survey, deed, title, insurance, email chain with Deidre, even a dash cam. Still framed from week 3 showing her on my property uninvited. I lay it all out on the hood of Pacheco's cruiser. The metal's still cool from the morning air, and the paperwork makes a crisp shuffling sound as he flips through page by page. He takes his time, radios something in, checks the survey against the county plat map on his phone. 5 minutes pass. Deidre's still 40 feet back, arms crossed, tension radiating off her like heat from asphalt. Finally, Pacheco looks up. Ma'am, he calls out. This is a civil dispute, not criminal trespass. Mr. Holland has documentation showing his property boundary. You'll need to resolve this through the courts. Her mask cracks. She stalks forward, heels clicking. Excuse me, I pay your salary through my taxes, and you're telling me you won't enforce? PCO cuts her off, voice flat. Ma'am, I don't enforce HOA bylaws. If you believe he's in violation of a civil contract, hire a lawyer. She sputters, spins on her heel, and marches to her Lexus. Yanks the door so hard I'm surprised the hinges hold. She peels out, tires squealing. The smell of burnt rubber hangs in the air for a solid 10 seconds. Pacheco watches her go, shakes his head, hands me his card. Mr. Holland, off the record, document everything. Every interaction, every letter, every time she shows up. I've seen HOAs pull this before. Next time, she might embellish more. Protect yourself. I thank him. The cruisers leave, and I'm standing there realizing Deidre just tried to weaponize law enforcement against me. This wasn't about dues anymore. This was about forcing me into submission or bankrupting me with legal fees. I call Lucia Brennan. She picks up on the second ring. I explain what happened. The police. The false report. Pacheco's warning. There's a pause then. Garrett. She just flirted with malicious prosecution. If she's willing to lie to police, she'll lie in court. I'm taking your case. Promo for now. First move. Lucia sends a cease and desist to the HOA. Demands they rescind all fines and threats. Warns that further harassment means a lawsuit for malicious prosecution and abuse of process. She also files a formal complaint with the county about the improper boundary amendment. Oklahoma law requires certified mail to affected landowners. When boundaries change, I never got one. That makes the annexation void. Here's your first knowledge nugget. If your HOA tries to expand its boundaries, check your state's laws. Most require proper notice, and without it, the change is legally unenforceable. Deidre's response comes fast. Ruben hears she called an emergency board meeting that afternoon. Her spin. This squatter is attacking our authority with frivolous legal threats. If we back down, every homeowner will stop paying dues. The board, for spineless yes-men, terrified of her, votes to pursue all legal remedies. Translation, they're doubling down. 2 days later, I'm at the hardware store. When Travis and Mallory can't approach me. Mallory's holding their toddler. Travis looks exhausted. Garrett, we heard you got a lawyer. Can she help us, too? Turns out 9 families are underwater on HOA fines. One elderly Couple faces foreclosure over a $12,000 lien that started as $400 in late fees. I realize this is bigger than my property line. Deidre's running a scam on 127 families. That night, Ruben and I sit on my porch with beers. You know what Deidre's problem is? I say. She's got HOA president syndrome. Like mall cop energy, but with a gavel and a vengeance. Ruben snorts. Nah, man. And she's got yacht club energy and a kiddie pool subdivision. She thinks she's running the Hamptons, but it's Tulsa and nobody's impressed. I'm laughing when my phone buzzes. Unknown number. A photo of my truck parked at Home Depot earlier that day. Caption, we're watching. I show Lucia. She tells me to install cameras immediately. But here's the thing. I'd fought actual threats overseas. IEDs, ambushes, people who genuinely wanted me dead. This suburban Mean Girls reboot wasn't going to rattle me, but it did piss me off. Week 7. The HOA files a lawsuit in county court. Declaratory judgment to enforce covenants. Their angle. Even if my land was outside the original boundaries, the corrected plat map filed 6 months ago is legally binding. They've hired Conrad Trimble, a strip mall attorney in his 60s who wins through default judgments and intimidation. Guy probably advertises on bus benches. Lucia responds with a motion to dismiss plus counterclaim fraud, harassment, abuse of process. Discovery begins. She subpoenas HOA financial records, meeting minutes, everything. And here's where it gets good. The corrected plat map was never properly noticed. Oklahoma law requires certified mail to affected landowners. I got nothing. The annexation is void. Second knowledge nugget. Always check if legal notices were properly served. Improper service can invalidate contracts, liens, even lawsuits. No. Certified mail. They might have no case, but Deidre doesn't care about legalities. She cares about crushing me. The harassment ramps up. HOA sends inspectors, Deidre's real estate cronies, to photograph my property biweekly. I wake up one morning to orange code violation stickers plastered on my mailbox, garage door, even my truck. The stickers smell like cheap adhesive and spite, leaving a gummy residue that takes WD-40 and 20 minutes of scrubbing to remove. Ruben catches one inspector on camera using my trash cans as a stepladder to photograph over my fence. Trespassing. I install 6 security cameras, upload everything to cloud storage, start a Google Doc logging. Every interaction, every letter, time-stamped and cross-referenced. Lucia says, Discovery is beautiful. Let's see how clean their hands are. Spoiler, they're filthy. Her paralegal finds $140,000 missing from HOA financials. Vague line items, administrative fees, community enhancement consulting. Cross-reference meeting minutes. Deidre's LLC was paid $18,000 for property management services, but the HOA already pays a management company. This isn't petty tyranny. This is embezzlement. Mallory can't host a secret backyard meeting. 11 families show up with horror stories. One couple fined $3,000 for solar panels, which Oklahoma law explicitly protects. An elderly widow rower threatened with foreclosure over $400 that ballooned to $6,000 in interest and legal costs. I propose a coalition, maybe class action. Lucia, attending incognito, says, I can work with this. Deidre hears about the meeting. One attendee's spouse is on the board. Emergency vote. Anyone organizing against the HOA gets special assessment. Fees of $000 per month until compliance. I get the notice next day. So do Travis, Mallory, and 4 others. Extortion dressed as parliamentary procedure. Late one night, my doorbell. Camera captures someone spray painting deadbeat across my garage door. Footage shows a white Lexus RX in the background, license plate partially visible. I send clips to Lucia and Sergeant Pacheco. Pacheco replies, That's vandalism. File a report. I'll increase patrol presence. I file it. Upgrade to 24/7 monitoring. The spray paint smells like chemical solvent and desperation when I scrub it off next. Morning. The rough garage door texture catching on the rag with every stroke. My daughter texts, Dad, are you okay? Mom says, You're in some legal thing. I downplay it, but internally I'm furious. Deidre's tactics are affecting how my family sees me. I'm up at 3 a.m. cross-referencing documents. Sleep's optional now. Then Lucia calls. Garrett, I've been digging into property transactions in Pinewood Estates. You need to see this. She sends a spreadsheet. 3 properties foreclosed by the HOA in 2 years were bought at auction by Deidre's LLC and board members. Family trusts. Purchase prices 40 to 50% below market. Patterns clear. Family. Gets fined. Can't pay. Foreclosure. Insiders buy cheap. Flip for profit. This isn't just embezzlement. This is a predatory scheme, possibly racketeering. Lucia files an amended counterclaim, adding federal RICO allegations. Contacts Oklahoma Real Estate Commission. Deidre's license could be revoked. Strategic pivot. Lucia, we go public. Civil court drags for years. Media pressure works fast. I hesitate. I'm private. Ex-military. Hate attention. Mallory volunteers. I'm a freelance journalist. Let me pitch the Tulsa Gazette. Deidre, here's we found the foreclosure pattern. Emergency meeting. Motion to settle. Drop all fines. Remove lien. If I sign an NDA and release claims, Trimble delivers via Zoom. Your client should take this. Discovery gets ugly for everyone. I laugh in his face. Tell Deidre, I don't negotiate with con artists. See you in court. Internally, no. Deidre offering to settle means she's scared. Discovery is working. That night, Ruben brings over beer. You know what's wild? Deidre runs this HOA like a cartel, but she probably thinks she's the hero. I take a sip. Every villain does, Ruben. Every villain does. My phone buzzes. Certified letter notification. Not from the HOA, from a title company. Notice of foreclosure. Sale. Pinewood Estates, HOA common property. I speed read. The HOA itself is being foreclosed on by a bank holding a $1.2 million construction loan from 2019. Payments haven't been made in 18 months. Auction in 30 days. My engineer brain lights up. Wait, if the HOA loses its common property, what happens to its legal standing? I call Lucia. I just figured out how to buy the HOA. Week 10. The HOA places a lien on my property, even though the annexation's being contested. Trimble argues it's standard procedure during disputes. The judge allows it temporarily, which means I can't refinance or sell. My equity is frozen. Deidre is playing financial hostage taker. The real damage is psychological. She launches a whisper campaign, tells neighbors I'm a troublemaker, litigious, don't respect community values. Posts on the Pinewood Estates Facebook group, private 200 members. Reminder, unpaid dues and fines are every member's responsibility. Freeloaders hurt us all. Doesn't name me. Doesn't have to. 3 neighbors who used to wave now cross the street. My son calls. Dad, Mom said you're in legal trouble. I downplay it, but internally, I'm furious. Want to do this. People who mess with the wrong folks find their business prospects drying up. I'm former military, unfazed. Are you threatening me? Issuing a warrant for Deidre Kensington's arrest. Felony embezzlement, fraud, perjury. You know where she is? I don't. She disappeared after the auction. House is up for sale. 50 grand below market. Morrison will find her. Meantime, beef. Up security. People facing prison get unpredictable. I upgrade to 24/7 monitoring. Ruben offers to keep watch. The court hearings tomorrow. Dissolution petition. Deidre's invited. Something tells me she won't show, but if she does, I'll be ready. The next 48 hours are pure logistics. I'm not doing this alone. I've assembled a team and each person brings something critical. Lucia Brennan handles legal auction paperwork, dissolution, petition, trust document, coordination. Her strategy surgical. Prove HOA debts exceed assets. Show embezzlement. Demonstrate homeowner support for dissolution. Oklahoma statute. Title 47 Section 11-109 allows dissolution if the common property owner petitions and the HOA is insolvent. The law's on our side. Mallory Kent runs. Media strategy. 2 follow-up articles published. Documentary producer from California calling. Social media. Pressure mounting. Every share brings more donations. GoFundMe's at 210 now. Ruben Cortez is boots on ground. Intelligence, monitoring board reactions, calming homeowners, making sure I eat real food instead of surviving on coffee. Travis Kent handles tech. Built secure website for the future trust. transparent budgeting, meeting minutes within 48 hours, live-streamed meetings. He's managing GoFundMe and encrypted coalition communications. My brother Caleb wired 400,000 advises on asset protection. Post-purchase, Sergeant Pacheco off. If she destroys files or wipes servers, that's obstruction. Document everything. Now, the legal strategy in plain terms. Step 1, I won the auction. I own common property. Step 2, Lucia files motion proving HOA insolvency. Defaulted. 1.2 million loan, 200 grand in judgments, $250,000 embezzled. Step 3, petition court to dissolve. HOA. Judge appoints receiver to wind down affairs. Step 4, I'd property. To Pinewood Commons Trust for $1. Symbolic trust governed by 7-member board elected by homeowners. 1 home, 1 vote, no proxies. Takeaway. In many states, an insolvent HOA is a house of cards. 1 legal push and it collapses. Research your state's nonprofit dissolution laws. You might have more power than you think. We're preparing for Deidre's sabotage. Lucia warns she'll delete records, hide money, obstruct our countermeasures. Travis scraped the HOA website via swayback machine, archived everything. Lucia subpoenaed bank statements before Deidre can move funds. Mallory interviewed 3 former board members. Affidavit documenting Deidre's scheme secured. Community prep is critical. I rent the VFW hall. Hosts 3 town halls over the week. Attendance grows. 50 families first night. 82nd over 103rd. I explain. What's next? HOA dissolves. Dues drop to 0 temporarily. New trust takes over. We vote on reasonable fees. Maybe $45 monthly for pool landscaping insurance. No more fines for garden gnomes. No more mailbox color tyranny. No more Deidre. The VFW hall smells like fresh coffee and hope now. Folding. Chairs still squeak. But people lean back, smiling, asking real questions instead of crying. One elderly man asks, what if an investor outbid you? I'm honest. They'd have jacked fees or sold piecemeal. We got lucky. But luck only works if you're prepared. Topics covered. What happens if I win dissolution? HOA ceases to exist. Trust takes over. What if a vulture won the auction? Likely exploitation. How to vote for dissolution. Simple majority. After insolvency declared. The room's full of people beaten down for years. Now they're believing change is possible. One woman stands. My husband and I almost lost our home over 1,800 in fines. We stopped sleeping, stopped talking to neighbors. You're giving us our lives back. Her voice breaks. I don't have words, just nod. Ruben squeezes my shoulder. This is why we're fighting. We also run financial education. Knowledge nugget 2. Foreclosure. Auctions. Most people don't know non-judicial foreclosures common in Oklahoma, Texas, California, Arizona don't require lawsuits, just public notice. You can buy properties at courthouse steps with cashier's check. Research trustee sale in your state. Knowledge nugget 3. Community land trusts, legal structures, where lands owned collectively governed democratically prevents HOA tyranny and gentrification. Google CLT model for your area. Night before the hearing, I'm in my workshop, lathe humming, not working on anything, just letting hands move, brains settle. I think about why I'm doing this. Not revenge, not even about Dodger anymore. About systems. Systems shouldn't crush people, should serve them. My ex said I was too mission-focused. Maybe, but this mission matters. I text my kids, big day? Tomorrow. Wish me luck. Daughter replies, Dad, we're so proud. Go be the hero we know you are. Son sends Captain America a gift. I smile. Ruben shows up with beer for after the hearing. Win or lose. I crack one. If we lose, I'll need stronger. He grins. Got tequila in the truck, brother. Hearing's 9 a.m. tomorrow. I've got notes, documents, team. Deidre's invited, but probably won't show. If she does, Lucia handles her. One thing nags me, though. Lucia's warning echoes. Cornered animals are dangerous. Deidre's facing prison, bankruptcy, public humiliation. What's her play? Does she even have one left? I upgrade my security cameras, double-check locks, sleep with phone by the bed, because I know from experience, the Most dangerous moment in any fight is right before your enemy realizes they've lost. And tomorrow, Deidre is going to realize exactly that. 4 p.m. day before the hearing, Lucia calls. Trimble. Just filed emergency injunction on behalf of concerned homeowners trying to delay dissolution, claiming it violates. Homeowner writes, I check my watch. How fast can you get to courthouse? She's already driving. 20 minutes emergency. Hearing at 6 p.m. Judge's chambers. Fluorescent lights buzzing. Trimble shows up exhausted. Turns out he never quit. Just told Deidre he did while still collecting checks. His argument's incoherent. Claims trust violates non-existent covenants. Cites Arizona case law that doesn't apply in Oklahoma. Lucia dismantles him in 10 minutes. Your Honor, this is transparent stalling by defendants facing fraud charges. The bank had every right to foreclose. Mr. Holland had every right to bid. Delaying serves no purpose except prolonging abuse. Judge Vickers's mid-50s. Former public defender, zero patience, peers over her glasses. Counsel, your injunction is denied. This court will not interfere with lawful foreclosure. We're adjourned. Gavel down. The courtroom door slams with a metallic bang echoing off marble walls. Deidre storms out. That night, fake Facebook profile appears. Pinewood Truth Teller.